men in America earn less than $80,000 a year, meaning that majority of men in America are average earners. Majority of households in America are two-income households. So yes, you know what that means? It means that you are likely going to have to get with an average earning man, and together you guys are going to build and accumulate wealth together. That is what lots of successful, happy married couples have done. That is not promoting struggle love. That is reality. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to preach about reality because Shira has many of you living in a fictional narrative where there are enough rich men to go around, and one of them is just going to come and swoop you off your feet and pay all of your bills. I'm sorry. Stop looking for a savior in a man.
The day my mom kicked me out.
So, do I need to play it again, or y'all got the gist of what she was saying?
I got this. Yeah.
Majority of men in America.
So, what are y'all thoughts on them?
She's telling the truth. I mean, yeah, majority of people in America don't make, six figures. So you're gonna, I mean, the way things are today, you're gonna have to work together to have a pretty decent living. And I think that's the problem. It's like these situations where, if you do work together, I mean, obviously there's got to be someone the head of the household. And so a lot of times, I mean, I think in most men, it's a situation because most men think logically, but also, I mean, it's not a situation where the man dictates everything. That's not the way the shit goes. That's not in real life. It doesn't happen. Very rarely that he's going to say anything. But yeah, this whole idea that everyone can be like millionaires and then you just have this cush life. It's not real. It's not realistic.
I think it too is really just on a lot of social media. I think people might say that on social media, but in real life, that's not really what's happening. When it comes to wanting a millionaire, when you work at McDonald's, I think that, they might say it, but that's really not what they're dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're out here dating the average people if they're average. Now it's different. There are exceptions to all that, but I do believe in, building with your partner. So. Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. Do you think that even though with social media and everything, do you think that it's starting to translate into the real world because a lot of people are hearing these topics? Do you think so, or do you just think it's just?
I think maybe for some that are a little bit more impressionable right now because they're young. If you're 20, 21, you're still a little more lively, still more of a menace. There's a little bit more of that razzle dazzle in you where you are, on the in vicinities to where that could happen, and you do date a little more like that. But it's nothing that's sticking. I don't really believe that. I do think some women in their 30s are wanting that, but I think there's a little bit more logic of understanding he might not be a millionaire. Do I want him to make more money than me? Yeah. But do I expect exuberance and all that stuff? No, I think, and I do also believe in people staying in their own lane when it comes to that. If that's what you're looking for, then aim for what you're looking for. So.
But don't you think if someone has a not realistic view on it, you should tell them?
I mean, I'm sure they've got friends that are telling them and things like that. Now it depends on the age. If I see that you're in your 30s and you're trying to intentionally date and it's one not happening, because no one is, in that vicinity. Because if it was happening, then they wouldn't be really, talking about it not happening. It would just be happening, and they're part of the percentage that we're not talking about. So yeah, I think to tell your friend, all right, girl, that's a little too much, But I also am big on stand on your standards and your boundaries and your morals and what you want in your relationship. So when I say millionaire shooting, unless you're in that vicinity, but six figures, if you're around that and near that, girl, I'm not gonna say shit to you. Not a damn thing.
Okay, just say, and I'm gonna stop. Just say this: if she is searching for that, but what if she's got that attitude of I deserve this? Because I think if someone gets someone who makes six figures, this woman has to be very, very, very feminine and go with the flow type of shit. Not I run stuff and I dictate most things that happen, because most people who make six figures ain't gonna deal with that. So you think that's something a conversation you would have?
No.
No.
Why is because I think there are different people for different people. There are men that like men or like women that are more.
Hey, yo.
Did I say men that like whatever? There are men that like women that are more spicy in that sense. So I'm not gonna say that to them either, because I know quite a few men that prefer more of a spicier person than more of like a laid back kind of person. So I don't think that all men that make over 6 figures are like that. So I think there's somebody out there for what you're specifically looking for. And I don't think just because, you know, the woman is making more money either that changes things. Like, I don't know how to think. I don't know what I'm trying to explain with that. But to answer your question, no, I'm not going to tell her anything just because she's spicy. There are men that like spicy. Now, there's a different type of spicy when we're talking about that too. Like, if she's more like rah, rah, rah because she's angry and things like that and moving through stuff, there are also men that will help her get out of that. You know, sometimes people just need to be shown that they can be softer and then they move accordingly. So
typically those dudes don't make a lot of money though. And she won't fuck with
I disagree.
them.
I do disagree.
In general, hold on, Ash. In general, do you think most guys would deal with a spicy woman on that level? That's that high commodity guy that most women want. Do you think most of them would deal with a spicy woman?
What type of spicy are you talking about?
I'm talking about the spicy, the rah stuff. I'll say the spicy, the characteristics that we talk about all the time on here that we say we don't like.
I would say that there are some men, because those girls that they're talking about that you don't like are in relationships with some of the people.
You
said majority?
Yeah.
Probably not in the most rah sense. No. But do I think that they can soften up? Absolutely.
I actually think with this situation, it's not a social media talking point. This been going on since the 70s. Men been talking about, like the other day, we talked. Men been talking about this when I was growing up. This before social media, before MySpace and all that stuff. Talking about what women are saying, what they want. It's literally the same thing. I even saw a video. I think it was in the 70s, and it was like they was doing a documentary. Especially, it was like in the Black community where they was like, you know, talking about family. It was like a group of women, Black women, like all of them had kids. And they were saying, why get with a man and struggle when I can be by myself and not struggle? It was already kind of in that mindset and already being developed to go where we are now. So basically, that American dream where we saw our white counterparts had, it kind of got integrated into what we want. So now it's one of those things where more, especially Black women, are in the workplace making good money and all that type of stuff. I think a lot of women, since even all the way in the 70s, been taught, don't worry about men, worry about your education. And they're not being like really taught about like how to endure a relationship and look at things from a realistic perspective of how a relationship really is for the long term. I think more men are taught one day you're going to have a family, kids, and this, that, and the third, no matter if they don't go with it or not. But I know for sure most of us living in that same household where that girl is being taught, we're taught we're going to have to provide and protect and do all that stuff for women when we grow up. So usually when we get to this age where we are now, you're seeing more women that she's talking about that are saying the rhetoric of what she's talking about, not looking at the numbers and the realistic kind of thing of like what you're going to end up in life. So it's like possibility versus probability. And then I think a lot of women these days, the ones she's talking about, they want to be the exception to the rule and overcome the exception to the rule, just to champion that they did it. Hey, I went against what everybody said and I still got it. What now? But as we see, there's a lot of complaining, so everybody's not getting it. It's like a formula that's not working and only work for some. But I still want to have that formula and go by it. But you know, it's not working for everybody. It's not working for most people, I would say.
When you're saying it's not working for most people, in the sense of because of the woman is wanting the man to be a provider and make more, and so then they're not dating.
I'll say their results. They saying they're not gonna settle, but they can't get with the man that they want. So they'll do coping mechanisms. Say they single by choice. But if you're single by choice, even that man that you dreamed that God sent to you himself, you would say, no, I'm good. I don't want to be in a relationship. That's real by choice. I think most women and men got a woman that he wanted that was what God sent to him himself, and vice versa. They'll go with it. If it was actually presented to them, they had the characteristics to actually carry out that those duties within those relationships and build together. I don't think they would say, no, I'm good. I don't want a relationship. I think few women and few men are really, really good on just not having to be in a relationship. But I don't think that most are like that. I think it's a coping mechanism. But when they at home, they be like, it'll be nice to have a man around here. It'll be nice to have a woman around here. I was raised in a family-oriented family, and when I go home, I'm the oddball, right? Everybody got kids, they married and stuff. I'm the oddball. I do want to be in a relationship. I just can't find what I want. And I'm not going to settle. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that it should more just be said like that I do want one, but nothing around right now. So I'm just going to, instead of saying I don't want a man, you just want them to be like honest about it.
Yeah, honest about it. Just like men, I think we're more honest about it because you see a lot of men not opting into relationships and everything. I think more of them like, hey, look, I'm not finna go put myself out there for the type of women that's out there right now that we complaining about. So I'm gonna just go about it life. I'm gonna work on myself and this, that, and the third. And if it organically happens where she's reciprocal with what she wants and she have the attention and she actually rocking with me, then I'll pursue, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be out here doing all this stuff, 200 minimum for a date. I'm getting blasted on social media because I took on a coffee date and all this stuff. They really don't trying to do that. Now, I understand what you're saying. It's just social media talking points, but this is real life because I think men, we see this physically on a day-to-day basis. I do. And I do. And I'm hearing it from my homeboys that are saying it.
Yeah. I was kind of saying it in a little different way, of more pertaining to the video about earnings. But I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about the earnings too, because that would be a part of settling. I don't want to be with a guy that's making less than X amount.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that so in general, do you think that men should have a standard as well in regards to, and this is for the panel, do y'all think that men should also have a standard on the amount of money that the woman makes too? Even if, regardless if he makes six figures, millionaire, or he makes a solid amount of money, do y'all think that it matters or he should care as well?
I don't think it'll matter.
I'm just asking, do you think that he should?
I think today's economy, I don't know. I'm kind of half and half on it. I would say I wouldn't say that back in the day. I say it don't matter, but the way the economy going right now, y'all got to be kind of like stable. One person lose a job. I know this from experience. It's gonna be rough. It don't matter how much you make, because if she makes 50, you make 50, right? And you lose your job, that quality of life is gonna go down a lot because you're not gonna find nothing that good when both of y'all making 50. It's just a lot, bro. I'm gonna just say, I don't know. I think I'm kind of half and half right now how the economy going, but I think it depends on what age. If it's like y'all like 30, 40 years old, I think if you like starting out in your 20s and stuff, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Anybody else on that question?
No, it's just all age dependent. Like if you 50, 60 years old, then yeah, she better have some bread, because why the fuck are you here? if you 20 to about maybe like, I'll give it like 32.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, have you some bread for the normal stuff that you normally was gonna do anyway, but I'm not really giving a fuck about your bread because what I got going on, if you coming in under that, I'm gonna get you on a program that's gonna get us right anyway. So I think if you older, you more seasoned in the game, yeah, If you're younger, you still building, you still on the come up. It don't really matter. Like that can all be solved. If you really needed to get to a bag, there's ways to plug her in so where you can get her in a phenomenal position to where she adding to the team anyway. So.
Okay,
I find your answer is interesting because you all say that when you're considering a partner, the amount that she makes doesn't matter. And now now you're talking about how there's a minimum that she should be able to earn.
Well, just functional would be good. I mean, it's not a lot of money.
I find it interesting too.
But I mean, if someone makes like 45, 50, that's not crazy.
I don't think we said anything about a minimum. I'm thinking he said, does money matters? And I was like, it does matter.
I said should it be a standard? I said should it be a standard?
Yes, should it be a standard. But I'm like, when you hear a lot of guys say we don't care about how much money you make, it's not that we don't care as far as you contributing to the household, because we kind of already know like how things usually go is their money is like secondary, and the basis of how I'm getting with you and all that stuff. When I'm trying to court you and everything of that nature, you're not thinking about how your money is going to contribute. You're worrying about mine and my capability. So I'm not thinking about your money when I'm trying to get with you. I mean, your money when I'm trying to get with you, because that's not going to be part of the conversation. Now, when we get into this thing called relationship or marriage, as time goes on, you buying houses, cars, this, that, and the third, it's going to be a real contributor factor once you already established that kind of like that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I can see where it can be kind of confusing based off these conversations because we got short amount of time. And, you know, like people don't like long-winded people, so I'm going to shut up.
But I mean, it ain't even that confusing. We don't give a damn about y'all bread. We like you for you. We don't give a damn about your bread. It's just we know, well, men are supposed to know that women are depreciating assets. You just choose to lock in with one and keep that one with you for as long as y'all get to rock out.
Did you just call us depreciated?
I mean, whatever you want to hear is what you want to hear. I said women are
I heard you.
If you want to be depreciated,
That's crazy.
if you want to be depreciated, that's on you. I don't.
Is that not what you said?
I don't get into women's Chinese. I speak English.
I know, and I'm asking exactly what you just said to me.
And I exactly said women are depreciating assets.
Okay.
I ain't say you depreciate it. So if you want to feel personally attacked, that's on you. There's a reason why they say you need to find your woman young. Okay. That way you can get a longer run. You got health shit that you're gonna run into. There's different things that all gonna run into as you age. So yes, it depreciates. That's the reason why you get all these women on these podcasts, 40, 50 years old, single, frustrated, trying to yell at dudes and trying to be like, oh no, I'm still the best pick of the litter. And it's like, we just covered Cam. Cam worried about a history for a reason, right? He want to know if you've been with one person on the team or you've been with the whole team. Each dude that chick done been with that he knows has depreciated her value in his eyes.
I don't think that's exactly why he was asking about depreciation. He was asking so that he doesn't look stupid in front of somebody, not about the fact that you have too many bodies.
Oh, okay.
But there probably is a little bit of that in there, but I don't think
it's not depreciating value. If nobody want to be seen with you, your value is depreciated.
Okay. All right.
Nobody else got anything else?
Not after that comment.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Hit that bell.